Every rower at one time or another has had the experience of doing great in practice when it doesn't count, and then struggling under pressure, whether it's a big regatta, whether it's an erg test that is critically important. And it reminds me of an athlete I work with, a young woman by the name of Jess. And Jess had dreams of making the national team. And Jess's performance history was such that she was heading in that direction. And as things got more intense, as the competition increased, Jess had a really bad habit of focusing on the other rowers that she was competing against. And one year she was hoping to make the national team, and you had to go through a series of erg tests. And when you have these erg tests, you're in a gym, there's 50 other rowers surrounding you, and there's erg machines, rowing machines, really close together. An interesting thing happened to Jess during this erg test, and that was right next to her was someone who had made the national team previous year. And during that entire test, Jess kept focusing on this other rower. She kept thinking about her time, thinking about how good this young woman was, and worrying she wasn't going to be able to keep up with her. And interestingly enough, the more she focused on this other rower, the slower she got, the more nervous she got, the more her confidence did a disappearing act. This is a kind of problem I see across every sport, certainly in crew all the time. And what Jess needed to learn to do was pre-performance, pre-race, and during the performance. She needed to learn to keep her focus on what she was doing. She needed to learn to, quote, stay in your own boat, stay on your own machine. Because focusing on other rowers is going to steal your performance. It's going to take your confidence and make it go away. And I helped Jess become aware of when her focus was leaving what she was doing, and in this situation, leaving her machine and going to other people, and taught her how to bring herself back and how to be confident in just staying focused on what she was doing, the feel and the rhythm of her work. Now, these kinds of problems are so common in this sport that over the years I've developed training material for athletes to use to help them become aware of the mental mistakes that they've been making and to better develop mental toughness. Now, whether you do what Jess did, which was to work with me, or whether you work with some of my training material, you can learn to systematically develop mental toughness. Incidentally, I should tell you that Jess went on to make the national team. She went on to have the reputation of being a rower who was unfazed by whatever was going on around her. And let me just leave you with the thought that if you do want to go as far as possible, if you want to reach your potential as a rower, if you want to free up that super athlete inside, you can't leave the mental part of your performance to chance. Start today to work on the mental side. Now, whether you work with my training material, you work with me, you're not sure, give a call. I'm happy to chat with you, happy to help you understand what would be the best approach for you.